6 yards of stuff for to make a yellow gown, a pair of lace boots with lengthy heels on them and brassy eyes. A hat is suited for a wedding day. To be sent with 3 barrels of porter in Jimmy Farrell's creel cart to Mr. Michael James Flaherty. Best regards of the season, Margaret Flaherty.
Where's himself?
He's coming.
I didn't hear him on the road.
How would you see him for it's dark at night this half hour gone by?
I stood a while outside wondering whether I would have a right to come in and see you or pass on. I didn't hear anything from this place to the gate.
Well, he's above at the crossroads, he is, meeting Philly Cullen. He and a couple more are going along to Kate Cassidy's wake.
And he's going that length in the darkness of the night.
He is surely, and leaving myself lonesome on the scruff of the hill. Isn't it long the nights are now, Shawn Keogh, to be leaving a poor girl lonesome with her own self, counting hours till the dawn of day?
Well, when we're wedding in a short while, you'll have little call to complain, for I've little will to be walking off to weddings or wakes in the darkness of the night.
You're making mighty certain, Shaneen, that'll wed you now.
Aren't we after making a good bargain, the way we're only waiting on Father Riley's dispensation from the bishop or the Holy Father in Rome?
It's funny the Holy Bishop would be taking notice of the likes of you, or a place like this, where you'll meet none but Mahon has a squint in his eye, or Pegeen is lame in his heel, or the Madelyn were driven from California and they lost in their wits. We're a queer lot to go troubling the Holy Father on his sacred seat.
We're as good this place as any other, maybe, and as good these times as we were forever.
As good as it. Where then will you meet the like of Deneen Sullivan, knock the eye from a peeler, or Marcus Quin, God rest him, got 6 months for maiming years, and he a great warrant to tell stories of Holy Ireland, till he'd have the old women shedding down tears about their feet. Where then will you meet the like of them, I'm saying?
It's a good thing you don't, maybe, for Father Riley would have small conceit to have that type talking to the girl.
Stop tormenting me with Father Riley, when I'm only asking how I'll spend these 12 hours of the night and not catch my death with fear.
Would you have me fetch the widow Quin?
Is it the like of that murderer? You'll not, surely.
I'm thinking himself will stop along with you when he sees you taking on. And I'm after hearing a queer fellow up in the furzy ditch, moaning like a maddening dog.
What's that? It's a man you seen?
I didn't see him at all. Heard him, a young man from the likes of it.
Oh, then you didn't stop to see what hurted him or ailed him at all?
I did not, and I was walking home lonesome in the darkness of the night.
Well, you're a daring fellow. What do you say then when they find his body stretched upon the dews of dawn? What do you say then to the peelers of the justice of the peace?
I wasn't thinking of that. Don't let on I was talking to my mother. I'll have great blabbering this night.
Oh, maybe tell them, oh, maybe not.
I don't come in. Will you whisk?
Oh, wish yourself.
Sit down now and take a rest. Will you be coming along with us to the lake, Shawn Keogh?
I will not. I'm going home. Shortcut to my bed.
He's right, you know. Have you no shame, Michael James, to be quitting off leaving us up lonesome this night?
Isn't it the same whether I go for the whole night or a part only? And it's a queer daughter I'm thinking you are if you'd have to be crossing backwards through the stumps of the dead woman with the drop taken.
Well, if I'm a queer daughter, it's a queer father that would be leaving me lonesome these 12 hours of night. And I'd pile in the turf with the dogs barking and the cows mooing, my own teeth rattling with fear.
What is there to hurt you? You, a fine, hardy girl, who knocked the head of any 2 men in the place.
Isn't there the harvest boys with their tongues red for drink, and the 10 tinkers camped beyond in the East Glen, and the 1,000 militia bags cessed to them, walking idle through the land? There's a lot surely to hurt me, and I won't stop alone in it, let himself do what he will.
If you're that afeard, then let Shawn Keogh stop along with you. It's the will of God himself, it's the will of God I think himself should be seeing to you now.
I wouldn't welcome Michael James, but I'm afraid of what Father Riley and all the scarlet-coated cardinals would say if I did the like of that.
God help you, can't you sit in by the hearth with the light lit and herself beyond in the room? You do that surely, for I hear tell there's a queer fellow above, going mad or getting his death maybe in the gripe of the ditch.
That should not be said to me, and we near wedded itself.
You'll come into West Room. You'll stay there and have no sin to be told the priest in the morning.
Go up now.
Leave me go, Michael James. Leave me go, Michael James, and may God grant you his indulgence in your hour of need.
Sit down by the hearth and stop your noising.
Oh, Father Riley, have mercy on me. And all St. Mary and St. Joseph and St. Patrick and St. Bridget, have mercy on me now.
Keep me going, is it?
Leave me go, Michael James! Leave me go, you old pagan! Leave me go, I'll have the curse of the scarlet-coated cardinals on you, and all the bishops in Rome! Leave me go!
Well, there's the good of a Christian man. There's sainted glory this day in the lonesome west. And by the will of God, I've got you a decent man, Pegeen. You'll have no call to be spying after him. You have a score of young girls maybe weeding in your fields.
And what right have you to be making game of the poor fellow reminding the priest, when it's your own fault it is, not paying a penny potboy to stand along with me?
Where would you have me get a potboy? Would you have me send the bellman screaming through the streets of Castlebar?
Michael James?
What ails you?
The queer fellow's come down from the ditch. I think he's stealing your heads. Oh God, he's following me, and if he's heard what I said, he'll surely kill me.
I'll save all here.
I'll save you finally.
I'd trouble you for a glass of porter, woman of the house.
Are you one of the tinkers, young fellows? Can't be on in the glen.
I am not. But I am destroyed walking.
Then come and sit by the fire, for you're looking famished with the cold.
For God's sake, you kindly, mister. But is it often the police to be coming into this place?
If you come in better hours, you'd have seen license for the sale of ale and spirits, for you might let us know.
Oh, it's a safe house then.
Aye. If it's fearing the police, you're wanting maybe?
Oh, there's many wanting.
Many surely with broken harvests. It should be larceny, I'm thinking.
I had it in my mind that it was a different word, and bigger.
Were you never slapped in school, young fellow, if you don't know the name of your deed?
I'm slow at learning. A middling scholar only.
If you were dunce itself, you have a right to know that larceny is robbing and stealing. Is it for the like of that you're wanting?
And I, the son of a strong farmer. God rest his soul. You could have bought up the whole of your own house a while since, and not have missed it gone from the butt of his tail pocket.
Well, if it's not stealing, it's maybe something big.
Aye, it's maybe something big.
He's a wicked-looking young fellow. Maybe fought after a woman on a lonesome night.
Oh, the saints forbid, mister. It was all times a decent lad.
You're a silly man, Jimmy Farrell. He said his father was a farmer a while since and now found himself in this poor state. Maybe he had his land taken from him and he did what any decent man would do.
Was it landlords?
Ah, the devil of one.
Agents?
The devil of one.
Bailiffs?
Ah, not at all, I'm saying. It's the like of them stories you'd read about in any little paper of a Munster town. And I'm not calling to mind any person, gentle, simple judge or jury that's done the like of me.
That lad's a puzzle the world. It beat Dan Davis's circus, or the holy missionaries making sermons on the villainy of men. Try him again, Billy.
Did you strike golden guineas out of a soldier, young fellow? Are shilling coins itself?
I did not, mister. But 6 pence or a farthing coin.
Did you marry 3 wives, maybe? I hear there's a sprinkling of that done among the Holy Luthers of the preaching north.
Never married with one, let alone a couple or 3.
Maybe he was off fighting for the Boers. The like of the man beyond was judged to be hanged, quartered, and drawn. Were you off east, young fella, fighting the bloody wars for Kruger and the freedom of the Boers?
I never left my own parish till Tuesday was a week.
He's done nothing at all. If you didn't commit murder or larceny or some bad, nasty thing or butchery or the like of them, well, there isn't anything for you to run from now. You did nothing at all.
It's a poor thing to be saying to a lonely orphan traveller. He's got a prison before him and a hanging behind and hell's gap gaping below.
You're only saying it. You did nothing at all. Soft lad, the like of you wouldn't slit the windpipe of a screeching sow.
You're not speaking the truth.
Not speaking the truth, am I? Would you have me knock the head of you with the butt of a broom?
Well, don't strike me! I killed my poor father Tuesday was a week for doing the like of that.
Was it killed your father?
Aye, with the help of God I did surely. But the Holy Immaculate Mother may intercede for his soul.
Jefferson, daring fellow.
Glory be to God.
That was a hanging cry, Mr. Hunt. You better have had good reason for doing the like of that.
He was a dirty man, God forgive him. And he, getting old and crusty, the way I couldn't put up with him at all.
Is Shawn dead?
Oh no, I never used weapons. I've no license and I'm a law-fearing man.
Maybe it was with the hilt of the blade you stabbed him, where here it's often bloody knives they use.
Do you take me for a smart boy?
You never hanged him. The way Jimmy Farrell hanged his dog from the
Who was
license.
that?
Had it screeching and wriggling 3 hours till the butt of a rope. Jimmy saying it was a dead dog and the peeler saying it had life.
I did not. I just raised the loin, let fall the end on the ridge of his skull. He went down like an empty sack and never let a grunt or groan from him at all.
In what way weren't you hanged then? Did you bury him?
Aye, I buried him then. It weren't we digging spuds in the field.
And the peelers never followed you after the 11 days you were out.
Never a one of them. And I, walking forward, facing hog, dog, or divil on the highways of the road.
It's only with the common weekday kind of murder that them lads would be trusting their carcasses. And I'm sure that boy is a terror when his temper's roused.
Where was it then that you did the deed?
It's a distant place, master of the house. A high and windy corner of a distant hilltop.
He's a coastman, and right surely.
Well, that would be a lad with a sense of Solomon to have for potboy Michael James. If it's truth, you're sick in one at all.
The peelers is sparing him. If you had that land in the house, not one of them would come sniffing around, even if the dogs were licking poaching from the dung pit in the front yard.
Bravery's a treasure on a lonesome night. And the man who killed his father, I'm thinking, would face a civil for pitch pike in the flags of hell.
Had that lad in the house, I wouldn't be fearing the loose, khaki cutthroats or the walking dead.
Glory be to God!
Would you think well then to stop along here and be potboy if we didn't destroy you with the weight of work?
That's a queer fellow to bring into a quiet, decent house like a Pegeen
Oh,
wife.
Mr. Sup, who's talking to you?
A bloody-headed
Waste
murderer!
time saying we'll take no fooling from your life at all. And you, young fellow, you have a right to stop anyway. We'll do our all in utmost to content your needs.
It's a nice room, and if it's not humbugging me, Warren, I don't think you'll surely stay.
Glory be to God. Herself be safe this night, the man who killed his father holding danger from the door. Come on, Michael James, all the best stuff to be drunk at the lake.
And begging your pardon, mister, but what name would we be calling you by? For we'd like to know.
Christopher Mahon.
God bless you, Christy.
God save you all.
God save you kindly.
Would you have me stop along with you?
Didn't you say you were fearing Father Riley?
I don't see any problem with it, with himself within.
Oh, you wouldn't stay when there was need for you, so let you step off nimble this time when there's none.
Didn't I say it was Father
Well,
Riley?
then go on to Father Riley, and let him put you in his holy brotherhoods. Leave that lad to me.
If I meet the widow
Go
Quin.
on, and don't be waking this place with your noise. Well, that lad will wear the spirits from the saints of peace. Let's just stretch out now by the fire. You should be destroyed walking with your feet in bleeding blisters and your whole skin needing washing like a whiplow sheep.
Oh, I'm tired, surely. And dying after walking wild 11 days and waking fearful in the night.
You should find great people in your family, I'm thinking. The fine, small feet you have. And what kind of a quality name. The kind that you find in the great powers and potentates of France and Spain.
We're great, surely. Wide and windy acres of rich Munster land.
Wasn't I telling you? And you a fine, handsome fellow with a noble brow.
Is it me?
Aye. Did you never hear that from the girls where you come from in the west or south?
Oh, I did nothing. They're bloody liars in the naked parish where I grew, man.
Well, then you've heard it these days. You walk in the world telling your story to young girls or old.
I've told my story in no place till this night. And it's foolish I was here, maybe, talking freely. But you're decent people. And yourself, kindly woman. The way I wasn't fearing you at all.
Well, you've said the like of that, maybe, in every cotton cabin where you've met a girl on your way.
I have not, I'm telling you. For I've seen none the like of you the long 11 days I have walking the world. Looking over a low ditch or a high ditch on my north or south. Walking through stony scattered fields or scribes and bog. Where you see fine women and young limber girls prancing and making laughter with the men.
You weren't destroyed traveling. I'd say you'd have as much talk in Strelene as Winrow, Sullivan, or the poets of the Dingle Bay. For I've heard at all times that poets are your like, fine, fiery fellows with great rages when their tempers roused.
You've a power of rage, God bless you. Would there be any offense in I asking if you are married now?
What would I want a wedding so young?
We would like so.
I never killed my father. I'd be afeard to do that, except I was the life for some blind rages tearing me within. For I think you should have had great tussling when the end was come. And isn't it a wonder one wasn't fearing you?
Up until the day I killed my father, wasn't a man in Ireland who knew my like. And I there, eating, sleeping, drinking and waking. A quiet, simple poor fellow with no man giving me heed.
It was the girls were giving you heed, maybe. I think you'd have most conceit to be gaming with their like.
Oh, not the girls itself, and I won't tell you a lie. There was no one heeding me in that place, saving only the dumb beasts in the field.
Oh, and I thinking you should have been living the life of the King of Norway or the Eastern world.
The like of a king, is it? And I after, toiling and moiling, digging and dodging from dusk till dawn, never a sight of joy, saving only when I'd go out into the woods to poach, oh, for I was a devil to poach. And you got 6 months to go over the Dunfort and stab and fish.
Is that what you call sport? Being abroad in the dark?
I did. God help me. There I'd be as happy as the sunshine of St. Martin's Day, watching the light pass through the shadows of bog, till I'd hear a rabbit starting to screech, and I'd go running out into the firs, and then, when I'd had my fill, I'd come walking back along the highways of the road. We'd see the nice ducks and geese stretched out. But just before you'd pass over the dunghill, you'd hear himself snoring out a loud and lonesome snore he'd be making all times the while he was sleeping. But a man, he'd be raging all times the while he was waking. Like a gaudy officer, you'd hear him cursing and damning and swearing oaths.
Providence and mercy spare us all.
Well, I'd say sure if you'd see him, and he after drinking for 3 weeks and rising up in the red dawn, or before it maybe, walking out into the yard as naked as an ash tree in the moon of May, and shining claws against the facade of the stars, and he put the fear of death into the bombs and the screeching sows.
Well, I mean, I feared about that myself, and there wasn't anyone in it but the two of you alone.
He's had sons and daughters all across the great states. Not a one of them that wouldn't say there's 7 curses on him this day.
Well, you'd have been a queer lot. I've never cursed my father the like of that, and I'm 20 or more years of age.
You'd have cursed mine, I'm saying. And he, a man, would never give peace to any. Well, saving only when he'd get locked in the asylum for battering peelers or assaulting men.
But you'll have peace in this place, Christy Mahon, and none to trouble you. For I think it's fine time a lad the like of you should have his fair share of the earth.
It's time, surely. And I, a great fellow with strength and bravery in me. Oh, glory, it's late for knocking. In this last hour, I'm in terror of the peelers and the walking dead.
Who's there?
Me,
Who's me?
the widow Quin.
Here, stretch out with your supper. That must be sleepy. For if she knew you were in a warrant to talk, she'd be stringing gavel to the dawn of day. What's it you're wanting? What ails you this hour of the night?
I'm after meeting Shawn, Keogh, and Fawn O'Reilly below, who told me of your curiosity man. They feared maybe by this time he was roaring, romping on your hands with drink.
Oh, look now is he roaring, and he's stretched out drowsy with his mug of milk. Walk on and tell that to Father Riley and Shaneen Keogh.
Oh, I'll not see him again, for I have their word to lead that lad forward, or to lodge with me.
This night?
This night. It isn't fitting, says the priestine, to have his like lodging with an orphaned girl. God save you, mister.
God save you kindly.
Well, aren't you a little smiling fella? Must have been a great and bitter torment to rouse your spirits to a deed of blood.
It was, maybe.
It's more than maybe, I'm saying. It softened my heart to see you sitting so simple with your cup and your cake. You fitter to be saying your catechism than slaying your da.
Oh, I'll not have him tormented. He destroyed traveling since Tuesday was a week. Walk on from this.
We'll be walking surely when his supper's done. You'll find her great company, young fellow. When it's the like of you and me, you'd hear the penny poets singing in an August fair.
Did you kill your father?
Oh, she did not. She hit himself with a worn pick the way the rust had corroded his blood, and he never opened it. That was a sneaky kind of murder to win small glory with the boys itself.
Well, if it didn't, maybe all knows a widow woman has buried her children and destroyed her man is a wiser comrade for a young lad than a girl the like of you. Go helter-skeltering after any man would let you a wink upon the road.
Oh, you'll say that, and you gasping with the rage you had leaping over the hills to see his face.
Me, is it? Well, Father Riley has cuteness to divide you now. We'd best be going, young fella. So rise up and come with me.
He's potboy in this place, and I'll not have him kidnapped while himself's abroad.
Be a crazy potboy lodging in this shebeen where he works by day. You'd best come on, young fellow, till you see my little house seen. Perch up on the rising hill.
Oh yes, wait till morning, Christy Mahon. Wait till you see her leaky thatch is growing more pasture than her fields alone, and she without a single tramp to keep her place in order at all.
When you see me contriving in my little gardens, Christy Mahon, you'll swear the Lord God for me to be living lone, for there isn't any match in Mayo for mowing or thatching or shearing a sheep.
Oh, it's true the Lord God formed you to contrive indeed. Doesn't the world know that you reared a black ram at your own breast and fed it to the Lord Bishop of Connaughton kidney stew? And doesn't the world know that you've been shaving the foxy skipper from France for a 3-penny bit and a sop of grass tobacco?
Do you hear her now, young fella? Do you hear how she'll be raging at your own self when a week is by?
I'll tell her to go into her pigsty and not plague us here.
Oh, I'm going, but he'll come with me.
Are you dumb, young fellow?
I'm a potboy in this place, and it's here I'd like to stay.
Now you've heard him. Walk on from this.
It's lonesome this hour, crossing the hill. And if you won't come with me, I'd maybe have a right to stop along with yourselves. Let me stretch out on the settle, Pegeen, Mike. Himself can lie by the hearth.
Faith? I won't. Quit off or I'll send you now.
It's a terror to be aged to scorn. And you, young fella, let you be wary, for there's right torment will await you here if you go romancing with her like. She's waiting only, as they bade me say, on a sheepskin parchment to be wed with Shawn Keogh of Kilkeen.
What's that she's after saying?
Lies and blather. You've no call to mind. Well, isn't Shawn Keogh an impudent fellow to send up spying on me? You just wait till I get my hands on him. Just wait, I'm saying.
And you're not wedding him at all?
I wouldn't wed him if the bishop walked in to join us here.
Let God and glory may be thanks for that.
Here, why don't you stretch out now by the fire? I've put a quilt upon you. I'm after quilting a while now, since with my own 2 hands. There. May the Lord God grant you good rest till I come and send for you in the morning when the cocks will crow.
That's a nice bed. And soft with it. It's great luck and company I've won me in the end of times. 2 fine women fighting for the likes of me. Well, aren't I after thinking, wasn't I a foolish fellow not to kill my father in the years gone by? And there, the score that's beyond, 80 jugs. Bottles of schoolmaster behind such a count. And nothing of them I'm thinking of drunk in the whole wealth and wisdom of the county Clare. There's her boots now. Nice and decent for her evening use. And isn't it grand brushes she has? Well, this would be a fine place to take out my whole life, talking out with swearing Christians in place of my old dogs and cat. Me, never doing a day's work. Except for rinsing out a cup or a shiny tumbler for a decent man. Me, stalking around, drinking my fill and smoking my pipe. Didn't I know rightly that I was handsome? No, it was the devil's own mirror we had beyond, would twist a squint across an angel's brow. And I'll be growing fine from this day. We'll have soft, lovely skin on me. It won't be the like of those clumsy young fellows that do be ploughing old times in the earth and dung. Is she coming again? Oh no, stranger girls, God help me. Will I hide my poor, long, naked neck to the world? Best go to the room to undress again.
Well, there's nobody in it. It'd be early for them both to be up walking the hill.
Well, I'm thinking Shawn Keogh is making game of us, and there's no such man in it at all.
No, look here. He's been sleeping here. Would be a hard case now if he's gone off the way he has. And us never laying eyes on a man who's killed his own father. And after we ran so fast on that hill this morning.
Are you thinking them's his boots? If they are, they'd have his father's tracks on them. Did you never read in the newspaper the way murdered men do bleed and drip? Is that blood there, Sara Tansey? That's bog water, I'm thinking. But they're his, surely, for I've never seen the like of them with whitey mud and red mud and the fine sands of the sea. That man's been walking, I'm telling you. Oh, well, maybe he's stolen off to Belmulligan with the ghost of Michael James. And you'd have a right so to follow after him, Sara Tansey. And you, the one yoked the ass cart and drove 10 miles to set your eyes on the man with the yellow lady's nostril on the northern shore.
Don't be talking, and we fooled today. There's a pair do fit me well, and I'll be keeping them for walking to the priest, while you sit a shameless place, going up winter and summer with nothing worthwhile to confess at all.
There's a man in there.
I'll call him. Mister, is Pegeen within?
She's above on the museum, seeking the nanny goats the way she'd have a sup of goat's milk for to colour my tea.
And asking your pardon, is it you as the man who's killed his father?
I am, God help me.
Then my 1,000 welcomes to you. I've run up with a brace of duck's eggs for your food today. Pegeen's ducks is no use, but mine are the real rich sort. Hold out your hand and see that it's no lie, I'm telling you.
Oh, they're a great and weighty size.
And I run up with a pound of butter, for it'd be a poor thing to have you eating your spuds dry, and you after running a great way since you did destroy your dog.
Thank you kindly.
And I brought you a small cake. Seeing how you've been walking the world, you must have a thin stomach upon you. And I brought you a little lame foot, boiled in osseous, was crushed to the fall night by the curate's cart. Here, feel the fat of the breast, mister.
It's bursting, surely.
Won't you pinch it? Is your right hand too sacred for to use at all? It's a glass he has! What? Well, I've never seen this day a man with a looking glass held to his back. Them that kills their father is a vain lot, surely.
Very thankful to you all today.
Sara Tansey, Susan Brady, Honor Blake, Nelly O'Sullivan. What in glory has you here at this hour of day?
That's the man who's
Killed his father.
I know well it's the man. I'm after putting him in the sports below for racing, lepping, pitching, Lord knows what else.
That's right, Widow Quin. I'll bet my dowry he'll lick the world.
Well, if you will, you'd have a right to have him fed and nourished in place of nursing a feast. Are you fasting or fed, young fella?
Fasting, if you please.
Oh, you're the lot? Stir up now and get some breakfast. Let you tell us your story before Pegeen will come, in place of grinning your ears off like the moon of May.
It's a long story. he'd be destroyed listening.
Oh, don't let on to be shy, a fine, gamey, treacherous lad the like of you. Was it in your house beyond you cracked a skull?
It was not. We were in his cold, sloping, stony devil's patch of a field.
And you went asking money of him, or making talk of getting a wife would drive him from his farm.
I did not. But there we were, digging, and... "You squinting idiot," says he. "Let you go down now and tell the priest you're with the widow Casey in a score of days."
What kind was she?
Oh, a walking terror from beyond the hills. And she, 25 years and 200 weights and 5 pounds on the weighing scales, with a limping leg on her and a blinded eye. And she, a woman of noted misbehavior with the old and the young.
Glory be!
What did he want driving you to be wed with her?
He was letting on that I was wanting a protector from the harshness of the world. And he, not a thought the whole while, saving only how he'd have her gold to drink and her hut to live in.
There's maybe worse than a dry heart than a widow woman and your glass at night. Did you hit him then?
I did not. "Go on," says he, "or I'll flatten you out like a crawling beast that's passed under a dray. Oh, you will not if I can help it," says I. "Go on," says he, "or I'll have the devil making garters of your limbs tonight." "You will not if I can help it," says I. And with that, the sun came up between the hill and the cloud, and it, shining green in my face. "God have mercy on your soul," says he, lifting the scythe, "or on your own," says I, raising the loy. He gave a drive with the east. I gave a left to the north. Then I turned around with my back to the north and let a blow on the ridge of his skull and let him stretched out to the knob of his gullet.
Oh, that's a grand story.
He tells it so lovely.
I think the Lord God sent him this road to make a second husband to the widow Quin. Though Aldred heard here. Lift him on her knees, Sarah Tansy. Don't tease him. You'll hear him surely. Let you drink his opinion with your arms crossed like the outlandish lovers of the sailor's song. There now, drink a health to the wonders of the Western world. The pirates, the preachers, the poteen makers, the jobbing donkeys and parching peelers, and the juries that fill their stomachs selling the judgments of the English law.
Right toe, Sara Tansy. Christy?
What's it you're wanting?
An ounce of tobacco.
Have you tuppence?
I've forgotten my purse.
Well, then you best be getting it and not fooling us here. And what's it you're wanting, widow Quin?
Pennyworth of starch.
And you without a single white shift or shirt in your whole family since the drying of the flood. Well, I have no starch for the like of you. Let you walk on now to Killamuck.
You're mighty huffy this day, Pegeen Mike. And you, young fella, let you not be forgetting the sports and racing when the noon is by.
Well, go on. Put those cups away. I'm shoving this bunch. Now, on the wall. Hang that glass on the nail. What disturbed it at all?
I was making myself decent only. And this, a fine country for young lovely girls.
Oh, wish you're talking of girls.
It was with a lord the like of that I killed my father.
You've told me that story 6 times since the dawn of day.
It's a queer thing, you wouldn't want to be hearing it. And them girls after walking 4 miles to be listening to me now.
4 miles?
Didn't himself say it was only bona fides living in this place?
Oh, it's bona fides by the road they are, but that lot came over to live in the stones. It's only 3 perches when you go that way. For I was down seeing what the post boy does have in his bag, for there was great news today, Christy Mahon.
News of my murder?
Murder indeed.
A murdered dog?
There was not. But a story filled half a page about the hanging of a man. That should be a fearful end, especially for someone who killed his dog, for he would get small mercies. And when he's dead he is, they put him in a narrow grave with cheap sacking lining him around, and pour a quicklime down on his head like you'd see any woman pouring frish-frash from a cup.
Well, you're thinking I'm safe.
Oh, who knows? God help you.
You were saying I was shut at jeopardy and I here with yourselves.
Shut up, jeopardy. No place if you go talking with girls that are there like. They do go walking abroad with the peelers and talking whispers in the fall of night.
You're thinking they'd tell?
Oh, who knows? If it would make the greenstones cry itself to see you hanging at the butt of a rope, and you with such a fine, stout neck, God bless you. The way you'd be in 2 hours, getting your death.
If there's that terror in them, it'd be best maybe if I go off wandering like Cain or Esau on the sides of Neath of the Ayers Place.
Oh, it would maybe, for I hear the circuit judges this place is a heartless crew.
Oh, it's more than judges. This whole place is a heartless crew. Because there's a poor thing for me to be going off lonesome, where I'll be looking on the women and girls the way the fallen spirits should be looking on the Lord.
I'm thinking you're an odd man, Christy Mahon. The oddest walking fellow I've seen this hour today.
What would any be but odd men, and they living lonesome in the world?
Well, I'm not odd, and I've lived my whole life with my father only.
How could a lovely, handsome woman the like of you be living lonesome, when all men should be thronging to hear the sweet sounds of your voice, and the little infant children should be pestering your steps, I'm thinking, and you out walking the roads?
I'm hard set to know what way a coaxing fellow the like of yourself should be lonesome either.
Coaxing?
Would you have me think a man that's never talked with the girls would have the words you've spoken today? It's only letting on you are to be lonesome, the way you get around me now.
Oh, I wish to God I was letting on. I'm lonesome all times, and born lonesome, I'm thinking.
Well, it's a story I'm not understanding, why you'd be worse off than another, and you, with such great savagery to destroy your dog.
There's little I'm understanding myself, saving only that my heart is scalded this day. We'll be going out and stretching the earth between us, not waking near you another dawn of the year till we do arise to hope our judgment with the saints of glory. And now I'd best be going, my wattle in my hand, for hanging is a poor thing, and it's little welcome's left for me in this town today.
Christy, come here to me. Lay down that switch and throw some sods on the fire. You're potboy in this place, and I'll not have you mitch off from us now.
You were saying I'd be hanged if I'd stay.
I'm after reading the news of Holy Ireland for 2 weeks or 3, and there hasn't been a word of your murder. It's likely they haven't found the body.
It's making game of me you were, and I can stay so, working by your side and not living lonesome from this mortal day.
What's to hinder you staying? It's for the old widow women or the girls to inveigle you off.
None of your words filling my ears, and that look has come upon your face, meeting my 2 eyes. Oh, and you, loafing about in the sun, or rinsing your ankles when the night is by.
Well, I'm thinking you'll be a loyal lad to have in the house. And if you hadn't vexed me a while since with your leaguing with the girls, well, I wouldn't give a fanine for a lad that hadn't a game spirit in him and a mighty heart.
After seeing your mountain rounds up on Jimmy Farrell's cabbage field, go get them or they'll be bursting surely.
God, then!
I'd best go to her aid. I'm handy with the youths.
She can do that much. And there is Shaneen has long speeches for to tell you now.
You see that, mister?
Half a ticket to the Western States.
I'll give it to you. And my new hat. And my breeches with the double seat on them. And my new coat, made from the blackest shades, 3 miles around. I'll give it all to you, and my blessing, and the blessing of Father Island, if you quit off from this place, and leave us to the peace we had at the fall of night.
And for what is it that you're wanting to get rid of me?
Oh, I'm a poor scholar with meddling faculties to corner life, so I'll tell you the truth. I'm to be wedded with Pegeen beyond, and I don't take kindly to having a clever, daring fellow the like of yourself staying with her in her home.
And you'd be using bribery to banish me?
Oh, don't let you take it badly, Mr. Honey. Is it beyond the best place for you? Will you have shiny coats and golden chains and be riding on the hunches with the ladies of the land?
It's true for him. You'd best quit off, not have that poor girl setting her mind on you. Their Shanine thinks she wouldn't suit you.
She wouldn't suit you. And she with a score of devils in her, the way you'd be strangling each other in a score of days. It's only the like of me she's suited for, someone who wouldn't raise a hand on her, even if it scathed itself.
Fit them clothes on you anyhow, and you can give your answer when you have them tried.
Aye. I'd like herself to see me in these new tweeds and hat.
You'd like herself to see them in him, is it? Oh, what a Quin. He won't leave us, and he with a score of devils in him the way he's surely to wed Pegeen.
Well, it's true all girls are fond of courage and do hate the like of you.
Oh, widow Quin, what am I going to do? I'd inform him again, but he burst from Killamok and certainly and surely destroy me. Wasn't such a God-fearing man, I'd near have courage enough to come up behind him and run a pike into his side. Oh, widow Quin, what is a poor orphan boy to do who doesn't have his father? He'd easy kill and make himself a hero in the sight of all. Oh, widow Quin, will you promise me some contrivance when I promised you a ewe?
A ewe's a small thing. What would you give me if I did wed him, and did save you so?
You?
Aye. Would you give me the red cow you have, and the mountainy ram, and the load of dung at Michaelmas?
I would surely, and I will give you the golden ring I have, and loan of a new suit to have him looking decent for the wedding day, and a gallon of poaching, and 2 kids for your dinner, and I'll call up the piper on the lawn car from Castlemore.
I will do so. Let you whist. It's coming now again. Now I be thinking you be too proud to speak at all. Shame to have your like sailing from Mayo to the Western world.
I'm not going. If it's a poor place, I'll make myself contented to be lodging here.
Well, I'm out to go measure the race course while the tide is low. God bless you for the sports today.
I think I'll go on the hillside for to seek Pegeen.
It's no time and plenty for to seek Pegeen. You heard me saying at the fall of night that the 2 of us should be Gray's company. Sit down till you talk with me.
I'll have no want of company. When all sorts is bringing me their food and clothing, the way they'd set their eyes upon a gallant orphan, did cleft his father with 1 blow to the breeches belt. Saints of glory, holy angels from a throne of light.
What ails you?
It's the walking spears of my murdered dog.
Is it that tramper?
Where I hide my poor body from this ghost of hell?
God save you.
Did you see a young lad passing this way in the early morning or the fall of the night?
You're a queer kind to walk in not saluting at all.
Did you see a young lad?
What kind was he?
An ugly young strailer with a murderous gob on him, and a little switch in his hand. I met a trapper, see him coming this way at the fall of the night.
There's harvest hundreds to be passing this way for the Sligo boat. For what is it you're wanting him?
I want to destroy him for breaking me head with the clout of a loy.
It was he that did that.
And amn't I a great wonder to be tracing him these 10 days with a rent like that in my crown?
That was a great blow. And who hit you? A robber, maybe?
'Twas my own son hit me. And he the divil a robber, or anything else but a dirty, stuttering lout.
You'd best be wary of a mortified scalp, I think they call it. Lepping around with that wound in the splendor of the sun. 'Twas a bad blow. You must have vexed him fearful to make him strike that gash in his jaw.
Is it me?
Aye. And isn't it a great shame when the old and hardened do torment the young?
Torment him, is it? And I holding out with the patience of a martyred saint, till there's nothing but destruction left in me. And I'm driven out in my old age with none to aid me.
It's a sacred wonder the way wickedness will spoil a man.
My wickedness, is it? Amn't I after saying it's himself has me destroyed, and he a liar of walls, a tucker of folly, the kind of man you'd see half the day in the brown ferns with his belly to the sun.
Not working at all?
The devil a work! And when he was at itself, he'd be raising up a haystack like the stalk of a rush, or he'd be driving our last cow till her leg was broken at the hip. And when he wasn't at that, he'd be fooling around with little birds he had, finches and felts, or making mugs at himself in a little bit of glass we had hung on the wall.
And what way was he so foolish? He's running wild after the girls, maybe.
Running wild, is it? If he had seen a red petticoat come swinging over the hill, he'd be off to hide in the sticks, shooting out his sheep eyes between little twigs and leaves, in his ears, raising like a hair above little gaps. Girls, indeed.
It must have been drink, then.
And he, a poor fellow, would get drunk on the smell of a pint. That lad had a queer, rotten stomach, I'm telling you. I gave him a few pulls in my pipe a while since, and he was taken with contortions until I had to send him off in the ass cart to see the female's nurse.
I've never to this day heard tell of a man the like of that.
I'd have laid a mighty oath you didn't, surely. The way every female woman where 4 baronies meet would stop their weeding and give a roar at him and call him the loony of Mahons.
Well, I give the world and all to see the like of him. What kind was he?
A tall, tin, wiry fellow.
And dark?
Dark and dirty.
Thinking I seen him.
An ugly young blackguard.
A hideous, fearful villain. Spit of you.
Which way is he fled?
Gone to catch a coasting steamer to the north or south.
Could I pull up on him now?
You go down below where the tide is out. You'll be in it as soon as himself, for you had to go around 10 miles by the top of the bay. Strike down by the head beyond, and then follow the roadways to the north and east. I'll let you give him a good vengeance when you come up with him. But don't put yourself in the power of the law. It would be a poor thing to see a judge in his black cap reading out his sentence on a civil warrior the like of you. You're the walking playboy of the Western world. And that's the man you divided to his breeches belt.
And what'll Pegeen say when she hears that story?
She'll knock the head out of you, I'm thinking, and drive you from the door. Can't help her to be taking you for a wonder. You a little schemer making up a story you destroyed your dad.
Well, to be letting on he was dead, and coming back to his life, and chasing after me like an old weasel was tracing a rat. Coming in here, and laying desolation between my own self and the fine women of Ireland. And he, a kind of carcass that you would fling upon the sea.
Well, there's talking for a man's one only son.
Oh, his one son, is it? Well, may I meet him with one tooth and it aching, and one eye to be seeing 7 and 70 devils on the highway of the road. And one old timber leg to be walking into the scalding grave. There he is now, walking the strands. And the Lord God send a highway to wash him from the world.
What ails ya? Near crying, is it?
Now die after seeing the love light of the star of knowledge shining from her brow. Now she'll be turning on me, speaking hard words. An old woman with a spavity ass she'd have, urging me on a hill.
There's poetry talk for a girl you'd see itching and scratching, and her with a stale stick of poachine on her from selling in the shop.
It's her like it's fit to be handling merchandise in the heavens above. What'll I be doing now, I ask you? And I, a kind of wonder, was jilted by the heavens when a day was by.
You'll be doing like myself, I'm thinking, when I did destroy my man. For I'm above many's the day, odd times and great spirits. Abroad in the sunshine, darning a stock and her stitch in a shift. Odd times again, looking out on the schooners, hookers, allers is traveling the sea. Thinking on the gallant Harry fellows who drifting beyond. Myself, long years living alone.
You're alike, so.
I am your like, and it's for that I'm taking a fancy to you. And I with my little house scene where there'd been myself to tend you. And none to ask were you a murderer or what at all.
What'll I be doing if I left Pegeen?
What nice jobs you could be doing. Gathering shells to make a whitewash for our hut within. Putting up a new goose house. Stretching a new skin and an old cry have. And if my house is far from all sides, there you'll meet the wisest old men, I tell you. There yourself and me will have great times. Whispering, tugging.
Is it Pegeen, Mike?
It's the young girls, I'm thinking. Coming to bring you to the sports below. What is it you'll have me to tell them?
Aid me for to win Pegeen. It's yourself only that I'm seeking now. Aid me for to win her, and I'll be asking God to stretch a hand to you in the hour of death and lead you through shortcuts to the meadows of ease and up the footstool to the virgin sun.
There's praying.
Oh, they're coming. Will you swear to aid and save me for the love of Christ?
If I aid you, you give me a right of way I want, and a mountain ram, and a load of dung and Michaelmas.
Oh, but the elements of stars at night, I will surely.
I will not say a word to the old man. The way Pegeen won't know your story till the end of time.
And if he chances to return again,
We'll swear he's a maniac and not your dad. Could take an oath I've seen him raving on the sands today.
Christy, Mom, Christy, come on to the front below. Pegeen says you're to come. The levee's beginning, and we have a jockey suit to fit upon your back.
well, if Pegeen's done, I'll be going short.
Come on, she's the Rory McNair to meet Keogh.
Well, if the worst comes and end of all, it'll be great gain to see there's none to pity him, but a widow woman, like of me, has buried her children and destroyed her man.
yourself. You did not, but I sent Shawn with the escort to bear him home. Isn't he a nasty man for getting into such staggers at a morning wake? Isn't she the devil's daughter for lucky? She's so fussy with that young gaffer that you might take your death a drought and none to hate you.
It's a wonder she'd be fussy. And he, after bringing bankrupt to the roulette man, and the trick of the loot man, and breaking the nose off the crock shop man, and winning in all the sports below, running, leaping, dancing, and Lord knows what. It's right luck, I'm telling you.
Well, if he is, he'll be hobbled rightly. No. If he is, he'll be hobbled rightly soon for... No. He can hardly say 10 words without making a brag about how he killed his father. The great blow he hit in the loy.
A man can't hang by his own informant, and his father'd be rotten by now.
Supposing a man's digging spuds in that field with a long spade, and flings up 2 halves of that skull, but that'll be set in the courts of law and papers.
Let's say it was an old Dane, maybe, was drowned in the flood. Did you not hear tell of the skulls they have in the city of Dublin? Ranging out like blue chugs from Count of Connaught.
Oh, you believe that?
Didn't the lad see them? And he, after coming from harvesting his Liverpool boat, they have him there, says he, making sure of all the great people that once walked the earth. White skulls and black skulls and yellow skulls. And some with full teeth. Others, not but one.
That's no lie, maybe, for when I was a young lad, there was a graveyard beyond the house with the remnants of a man who had thighs as long as your arms. He was a horrid man, I'm telling you, and there was many a fine Sunday that I used to go down and put him back together for fun. Him with his shiny bones, the types that you never see in the world cities today.
You wouldn't, is it? Then lay your eyes on this skull and tell me where and when you've seen another the like of it. Is splintered only from the blow of a loy.
Oh, glory be to God! And who hit you at all?
'Twas my own son hit me. Now would you believe that?
Well, there's wonders hidden in the heart of man.
And which way was it done?
I'm walking long and hundreds, scores of miles, winning clean bed in the fill of my belly 4 times in the day, telling that very naked truth. Give me a subpoena and I'll tell you now.
Ask yourself beyond. She's the stuff hidden in her shawl.
You here, is it? You didn't go far at all.
I had seen a coasting streamer passing, and I got a draught upon me and a cramping in me leg. So I said the devil go along with him, and turned again. And now that you give me a subpoena for undestroyed traveling since Tuesday was a week.
Sit down and take your ease for a space. You've a right to be destroyed or through walking and fighting and facing the sun. There now is a drink for you. May it be to your happiness and length of life.
God increase you.
You know what? That man's raving from his womb today. For I met him a while since telling a rambling tale of a tinker had him destroyed. Then he heard of Christy's deed, and he up and says it was his son that cracked his skull. Is it madness of fright? He'll go killing someone yet? And I'm thinking it's the man who struck him so.
It's a fright, surely. I once knew a party was kicked in the head by a red male once. Then he goes around and killing horses for a while. Then he eats the insides of a clock and dies after.
Did he see Christy?
He did not. And let you not be putting him in mind of him, or you'll likely be summoned if there's murder done. He's listening. Wait now till you hear me taking him easy and unraveling all. And what way are you feeling, mister? Are you in contentment now?
Oh, I'm poorly only, for it's a hard story I'm left with today, since I did tend him from the hour of his birth. And he had done never reached his second book. The way way he'd come home from school many's a day, with his legs lamed under him, and his beatings black, like a tinker's ass. Oh, it's a hard story, I'm saying. The way some have their necks to gnaw, raising up a hand of murder against you. Some is left lonesome with lamentations in the dead of night.
To hear you talking so quiet. Who'd have thought you were the same man we've seen pass today?
Oh, I'm the same, surely. The rock and ruin of 60 years. And it's a terror to live that length, I tell ya. To have your sons go into the dogs against you. And you wore out from scalping them and scalding them and God knows what.
Jimmy, he's not raving. Are you asking what kind his son was?
Was your son that hit you? A lad of a year and a score, maybe? Great hand at racing and lepping and licking the world?
Didn't you hear me tell you he was a fool of men? The way off by now he'd be better off with the orphans' lot. The way the old and young used to make game of him. They raging and swearing and kicking at him like a mangy cur. What in the name of God do they want roaring for?
Cheering on a young lad. Champion Playboy of the Western world.
I split my heart to hear them now. And I with pulses in my brain pan for a week gone by. It's a racing they are.
It is then. There they are, mounting them for the mule race to be run upon the sands. That's the Playboy on the wrinkled mule.
That lad is it. If you had said it was a fool he was, I'd have laid a mighty oath he was the likeness of my wandering son. Faith, I'm thinking I'm to go to view the race.
You will not. You best take the road down to Balck and not be dilly-dallying in this place. There is a spot you can sleep.
Don't mind her. I'll turn on that bench there and you'll have a good view of the hull. They're hurrying before the tide rises, and if you went down by the crags below, it'd surely be over.
Oh, that's a right view of the edge of the sea again. They're coming up now from the point. He's leading. Who is he at all?
Oh, he's the champion of the world, I tell you. There isn't a hap worth hasn't fallen lucky to his hands today.
Oh, look at that, they're pressing him now.
Who'll win it yet?
Oh, take your time, Jimmy Farrell, it's too soon to tell.
Watch him taking the gate. There's Ryden.
Oh, more power to the young lad!
He's passing the third!
He'll lick him yet!
Oh, he'd lick him if he was running races with a score itself.
Look at the mule he has, kicking the stars!
There's the whip. He's falling. He's mounted again. Faith, he's passing them all.
Oh, look at him scumping her!
The mountain girl's pushing him on!
It's the last turn. The boss carried for him now!
Look at that narrow place! He'll be into the bogs! Oh, good rider, he's through it again!
They're neck and neck!
Come on, good boy, flame! But he's in! Well done, good boy! Good lad!
Come on!
Well done, good
He
lad!
always chases right everything.
So wise!
What's this?
Here.
So, it doesn't matter. He's running.
They're raising him up?
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
They're coming this way. It's Christy! By the stars of God, it's Christy! I can tell by the way he's spitting, he is striding the moon!
That's not your son. Hold him, or you get the month from the avenging of manslaughter.
Let me go, I'm saying, till I have my vengeance on his head today!
That's not your son. That man is going to make a marriage with the daughter of this house. A place with fine trade and a license. Pegeen too.
That lad marrying a decent and moneyed girl?
Aye.
Is it mad yous are? Is it in the crazy house for females I've landed today?
Mad you are with a blow upon your head. That lad is a wonder of the Western world.
Oh, I see it, it's my son.
You sing that you're mad. Don't you hear them cheering him in the zigzags of the road? Aren't you after saying your son's a fool? How would they be cheering a true idiot for?
It's maybe out of reason that lad's himself. And they'll go cheering him on, surely. I'm raving with a madness that would fright the world. I had seen 10 scarlet devils letting on they could cork my spirit in a gallon can. and rats as big as badgers sucking the lifeblood from the butt of my lug. But never to this day have I confused that dribbling idiot with a likely man. I'm destroyed, surely.
And who'd wonder? When it's your brain pan that's gaping now.
Then the blight of the sacred dropped upon myself and him, for never to this day have I gone mad. Oh, and I not 3 weeks ago, drinking myself silly with the Limerick girls from dusk to dawn. Is my visage astray?
It is then. You're a sniggering maniac. A child could see.
Yes, then I'd best be off to the unions beyond. Well, there'll be a grand welcome for me there, I tell ya. The way I am, a fearful and dreadful case. Ah, yes, the way I was one time, screeching in a straitened waistcoat, with 7 doctors all around me, writing my every saying in a printed book. Now, would you believe that?
Well, if you're a wonder itself, you'd best be hasty. For them lads caught a maniac one time, pelted the poor creature till he ran raving and foaming and drowned in the sea.
It's true, mankind's the devil when your head's astray.
Aye.
You best let me out now, and I'll be down to the Boreen and not see them so.
That's it. Run to the right, not to one we'll see.
You're at some game, you little Quin. But I'll go after him, and give him a time to rest in his dinner, and I'll find out if he's raving or as sane as you.
You go near that lad, let you beware of your head, I'm saying. Didn't you hear him tell him he was crazed at times?
Oh, I heard him telling a power, and if I'm right, we'll be in for sure sport before the night is fallen.
He's a conceited and foolish man. How could he have his senses and his brain pan slit? I'll go after and watch him turn on Philly now.
Here's a Blackhorn villain that would surely whip the scholars of Dublin sitting upon
Fiddle and bagpipes.
Thank you kindly. But it's little you'd say, surely, of my deeds today, if you'd seen me a while since striking my one single blow. Prize I'm after, and that's your promise that you'll wed me in a fortnight when our bonds is called.
You're right, Darren, to go ask me that. One all knows that you'll be starting to some girl in your own townland when your father's rotten in 4 months or 5.
Starting from you, is it? I will not then, and in 4 months or 5, when the air is warm and it's done yourself and I should be pacing out through Neathan. The time sweet smells to be rising and see a shining new moon maybe up on the hilltop.
Is it that kind of poacher's love you make, is it, Mr. Mahon? On the sides of Neathan when the night is down?
Oh, when it's little you care if my love poachers or hers itself, and you feel my 2 hands stretched around you, and me, squeezing kisses onto your puckered lips, till I feel a kind of pity for the Lord God himself, sitting lonesome on his chair.
Oh, well, that'll be right fun, Christy Mahon. And any girl would walk her heart out before she'd meet a man was your like for eloquence or talk at all.
Oh, I'll let you wait to hear me talking. Wait till we're away in Athas, when Good Friday's by, drinking us up from a well and making mighty kisses with our wetted mouths.
Oh, I'd be nice, so is it?
If the Mitrid bishops heard you that time, they'd be the like of the holy prophets, I'm thinking, that do be straining all times to lay eyes on the Lady Helen of Troy, and she walking backward and forward with a nosegay in her golden shawl.
And what is it I have, Christy Mahon, to make me fit an entertainment for the like of you, that has such poets talking and such bravery of heart?
Well, isn't it the light of 7 heavens in your heart alone? The way you've been a kind of angel's lamp to me from this out, and I abroad in the darkness poaching salmon or the oar of the Kenmore.
Well, if I was your wife, I'd go along with you those nights, Christy Mahon. That way you'd see I was a good hand at coaxing bailiffs and coining funny nicknames for the stars of night.
That's your like, is it? Taking your death in the hailstones of the fogs at dawn.
Now, you and me would shelter easy in a narrow bush. It's only talking we are. For this would be a poor, thatched place to house a fine lads of the like of you.
Oh, no. And if I wasn't a good Christian, I'd be on my naked knees, I'd be saying my prayers and partners to every jackstraw that's making your roof, and every pebble that's paving the laneway to your door.
Well, if that's the truth, I'll light candles to the miracles of God that have brought you from the south today, and die with my gowns bought and ready. That way I can wed you and not wait at all.
Well, it's miracles, and that's the truth. Me, after walking a long while and toiling a long while, and not knowing I was drawing ever nearer to this holy day.
Myself, a girl, was tempted often to go sailing the high seas, till I'd marry a Jew man with 10 kegs of gold, and not knowing it all, the like of you were drawing nearer, like the stars of God.
It's the first time me hearing your own voice talking sweetly to my own delight.
I think it's me talking sweetly, Christy Mahon, and I the fright of 7 townlands for my biting tongue. Well, the heart's a wonder, I'm thinking, for there won't be our kind of gallus lovers in Mayo today. It's my father from the way, telling me how to sleep.
Once more to cave and down, and there we lay, all in a prison bound. The blessing of God on your head, young fellow. I hear tell you're after winning all in the sports below, and isn't it a shame we didn't bear you along with us, a fine stout lad the like of yourself? For you'd never see the like of it for flows of drink. Aye, when we sunk her in her grave at noonday, there were 6 men stretched out retching speechless on the holy stones.
It's well enough you're lying, for the likes of it.
I am not, then. And aren't you a lousy schemer to go bearing your poor father unbeknownst, when you had a right to lay him on the crupper of a carry mule, like holy Joseph in the days gone by? And you, not even having a single Christian, drink a smart drop to the glory of his soul.
You're not speaking the truth.
Well, aren't you a hardened slayer? It'll be a poor thing for the household where you go sniffing for a female wife. But look beyond at that shy, decent young Christian man I have chosen for my daughter's hand, and I after wedding them this day.
You'll be wedding them this day, is it?
Aye, are you thinking if I was drunk itself, I'd go leaving her living lonesome with a frisky rascal the like of yourself?
Is it true the dispensation's come?
Aye, Father Riley's after reading it in Gallus Latin, for it's come in the nick of time, says he, so I'll wed them in a hurry.
Well, he's missed his nick of time, surely, for it's that lad Christy Mahon that I'm wedding now.
You'd be making him a son to me, and he wet and crusted with his father's blood?
You think I'd go marrying the like of Shaneen? He a middling kind of scarecrow with no fine words or savagery in him at all.
Well, aren't you a heathen daughter, to go shaking the fat of my heart, and I swamped and drowned with the weight of drink? Would you have him turn upon me the way that I'd be roaring to the dawn of day? Have you no words to aid me, Shaneen? Are you not jealous at all?
I'm afeard to be jealous if a man did slay his dad.
Isn't it a good thing I didn't wed you before himself came walking from the west or south?
It's a queer story you'd have, picking up a dirty tramp on the highways of the world.
Oh, you think you're such a likely boat to go straying along the shiny Sundays of the opening year, when it's sooner you put a girl on a bullock's liver, I'm thinking, than on the lily or the rose?
Don't you know my weight of passion, and the holy dispensation, and the golden ring, and the drift of heavers?
Yes, I think you're too fine for the like of me, Shaneen. So don't you find a lady with radiant of droves on the plains of Meath, for I think that would be your match. So God save you now.
Won't you hear me tell
you? Get from this, or I'll maybe add a murder to my deeds today.
Murder, is it? Would you go making murder in this place in a pound high with poteen for our drink tonight? Take yourself to the foreshore if it's fighting you want. Well, tide will wash away all trace from memory of man.
I won't fight to Michael James. I'm life for living bachelor simmering in the weights of passion till the end in time. Let's fight that leopard savage descended from Lord knows where. You fight him, or you're likely to lose my drift of heifers and my blue bow from Sneed.
Me fight him and it's bred to father slaying he is now? Go on, you fool, fight him.
Shall I strike him with my bare hand?
Take the boy.
I'd be afraid of the gallows if I did a thing like that.
And I'll make you face the gallows to put up with this! Fine weather be after him. But I'm thinking you wouldn't want that quaking blackguard in your house at all. And lay hear her swear faith to me. For I'm mounted with the springtide of the stars of luck. The way it'll be good for any to have me in the house at all.
Swear to God you'll wed us, for I'll not renege.
It's the will of God, I'm thinking, that all should win an easier or cruel end. And it's the will of God that all should rear up lengthy families for the nurture of the earth. And what's a single man, I ask you, eating a bit in one house and taking a sup in another, and he with no place of his own, like a lonesome jackass strayed upon the rocks? As many a man would dread to bring you into their house for fear to end them with an early end, but I am a decent man of Ireland, and I liefer face the grave untimely than go peopling my bedside with puny weeds the like of what you'd go breeding out of Shawn, Keogh, I'm thinking. A daring fellow's a jewel of the world, and a man who did split his father's middle with a single cloud is having the bravery of 10, I'm thinking. So may God and Mary and St. Patrick bless you and increase you from this holy day.
Amen, O Lord.
With the top of a loin!
And it's lies you told! Not knowing you hadn't slit it and knew nothing at all!
Oh, he's not my father! He's a raving lunatic herself knows it's true!
A liar! You're fooling, Pegeen! The widow Quin seen in this day, and you likely do.
Oh, it's himself's a liar! Was lying outstretched with an open head on him, letting on to be dead!
Weren't you off racing with the start before I could catch my breath and seeing you turn on me at all?
Think of the coaxing glory we'd given him, and he doing nothing but hitting a soft blow and running northward in a sweat of fear.
Oh, you must save me from this old man. For what is it that drives you to torment me here?
Well, it's their treachery is spurning me, till I'm hard set to think that you're the one I'm after lacing to my heartstrings for half an hour gone by. Take him all from this, for I think bad the world should see me raging for a monster liar and the fool of men.
Rise up to your retribution now and come on with me.
Well, there's the Playboy.
And what is it that drives you to torment me here? When I'd ask the thunders of the mighty God to blast me if I ever did harm to any of you. Saving only that one single blow.
You wouldn't, is it? Isn't it by the likes of you the sins of the whole world are committed?
Oh, for the love of Almighty
Leave
God!
trouble in the Lord God! You wouldn't have him bringing down the droughts and the old hen and the fever and the cholera morbus?
Oh, will you come between us and protect me now?
Try to laugh, God help me, and my share is done.
And to go off into my torment, is it? Or run off like a vagabond straight into the unions? Till I'd have the dust of August making mud stains on my gullet within. Or the winds of March blowing on me till I take an oath I feel them making whistles on my ribs within.
Ask Pegeen to aid you. Her life does often change.
Well, not. For there's torment in the splendor of her like. And she, a girl any moon of midnight would take pride to meet. Or why would I go scorch my understanding at her knees now?
Come on now, if you wouldn't have the company to see you scalped.
That's it. Now the world will see him pandied, and he playing off for a hero in the fright of men.
Leave me go, I'm saying.
And that's it now, Christy. If the two of them set fighting, it would lick the world.
Come on with
Leave
me.
me go, I'm saying.
Oh, I will. When your back is blue and your leg is limping.
Keep it up, the two of you.
I'll let the old one.
I'll come and play with him. I've got 6 pins on the
Shut your yelling! Shut your yelling! But if you're after making a mighty man of me by the power of a lie, well, I'm thinking if it's a poor thing to go lonesome in the world, well then it's a worse thing to go mixing with the fools of the earth. Keep off, lest I do show a blow unto you that'll set the guardian angels wincing in the heavens above.
Mind yourselves.
Run from the idiot!
Well, if I am an idiot, then I'm after hearing my own words would raise the chomp knot on a poet's brow in a merchant's town. Now I won your racing, and I won your living.
Shut your gullet and come on with me!
Oh, I'm going, but I'll split you first.
Turn it against you. Come on, or you'll be hanged indeed.
I think Pegeen will be giving me my praises, just as in the hours gone by.
Come by the back door. Think it's God to have you stifled by the gallows tree.
And what good would my lifetime be if I left Pegeen?
Isn't there the match of her in every parish public, from Binghamstown into the plains of Meath? Come on and I'll find you finer sweethearts in each waning moon.
What did I care? You'd run me a dozen chosen females, and the ship's itself made from this place to the eastern world.
They're going to hang him. Fit these upon him and let him run off to the east.
He's raving now. Fit them on him and we'll take him in the ferry to the Yakill boats.
Oh, go on from this! You're jealous of it! You're jealous of her winning me! Well, go on from this!
It's the madhouse that you should be putting him in, not jail at all. Go by the back door and call the doctor and save him so.
The old man killed Shirley. After feeling the last gasps of his beating heart. Look at the way he is. The hangman's not slipping around his neck while he's not lying at all.
You take it, Shanine. You're the soberest of us all here.
This is me you have taken.
Aye.
And he the wickedest and the worst with me. Let you take it, Pegeen, Mike.
So,
what ails you? Come on, tooth peeler, so let's stretch you now.
Is it me?
If we took pity on you this day, the Lord God would maybe bring us ruin from the law. So come easy, for hanging's a quick and easy end.
I'll not stir! I'll not stir! And what he'll say to me this time? And I do it in the face of all!
well, I'll say a man's a wonder with his mighty talk. But what's a squabble in your backyards and the blow of the Lord have taught me is that there's a great gap between a gallus story and a dirty deed. Take him on out from this, or the lot of us will surely be put on trial today.
Oh, and yourself would be sending me off to the horny-fingered hangman to be hitting slip knots around the butt of my ear. Come on, will you? Cut the rope, Pegeen, Mike, and I'll quit the lot of you and live out like the madmen of Keogh, eat much in the cliffs of Moor.
And leave us to hang for it? A saucy lie the like of you? Take him on out from this!
My leg, he's bit on me! Going to mad dog, the way I'll surely die! One twist on a second, squeeze himself.
Let it stop, Pegeen.
Oh, you'll die shortly. Waving hang-out house flags of welcome for my coming in 2 weeks or 3. For I'm thinking Satan has much welcome for those who killed their father in carrion and mail too.
Oh, isn't it holy terror, isn't it true how all drinks are cursed? That you all so shaky and uncertain now.
Bring the sod, Pegeen.
You're blowing for to torture me. Well, that's your like, is it? Well, the guys to face the gallows, and out of the game march down, I'm saying, and shed the blood of some of you before I die. God! Lord and be to God!
We only got what's coming.
Are you coming to be killed a 3rd time? And what ails you?
But what is it they have you tied?
Well, they're gonna have me hanged for slaying you.
It's the will of God that all should protect their cabins. What would my daughter be doing if I was hanged itself?
It's little I care if you give her a bag and have her picking cockles to the hour of death. But my son and myself, we'll be going our own way from this out, telling great times and stories of the villainy of Mayo, and the fools is here.
Go on with you, is it?
Come on!
I will then, like a gallant captain and his heathen slave. For I'm the master of all fights from this out. Whether it be eating my potatoes and stewing my spoils.
Is it me?
Oh, go on from this! I need not another word out of you.
Glory be to God! I am crazy again!
10,000 blessings and all that's here. You turned me into a likely gaffer in the end of all. Where I'll go romping out for a romantic lifetime from this hour to Judgment Day.
We'll have peace for our drinks this day. Draw the porter, will you, Pegeen?
Isn't it a miracle that Father Riley can wed us in the end of all? And when his vicious bite is healed, we'll have none to trouble us now.
Quit my sight. I've lost him. I've lost him, surely. I've lost the last Playboy of the Western world. Gown, a pair of lace boots with lengthy heels on them and brassy eyes. A hat is suited for a wedding day. To be sent with 3 barrels of porter in Jimmy Farrell's creel cart to Mr. Michael James Flaherty. Best regards of the season, Margaret Flaherty.
Where's the cell?
He's coming.
I didn't see him on the road.
Well, how would you see him in the dark night this half hour gone by?
I stood a while outside wondering whether I would have a right to pass on or come in and see you. I could hear the cows sighing and breathing in the stillness of the air, and not a sound from this place.
Well, he's above at the crossroads, he is, meeting Philly Cullen. He and a couple more are going along to Kate Cassidy's.
Did you marry 3 wives, maybe? I hear there's a sprinkle of that done among the Holy Luthers of the preaching north.
I never married with one, let alone a couple or 3.
Maybe he was all fighting for divorce. The like of the man beyond was judged to be hanged, quartered, and drawn. Were you off east, young fella, fighting the bloody wars for Kruger and the freedom of the Boers?
I never left my own parish till Tuesday was a week.
He's done nothing at all. If you didn't commit murder or larceny or some bad, nasty thing or butchery or the like of them, well, there isn't anything for you to run from now. You did nothing at all.
That's a poor thing to be saying to an orphan traveller. He's got a hanging before him and a prison behind and hell's gap gaping below.
Oh, you're only saying it. You did nothing at all. A soft lad the like of you wouldn't slit the windpipe of a screeching sow.
You're not speaking the truth.
Not speaking the truth, am I? Would you have me knock the head off you with the butt of a broom?
Oh, don't strike me! I killed my poor father! Not a thought the whole while, saving how he'd have her hut to live in and her gold to drink.
There's maybe worse than a dry hearth than a widowed woman and your glass at night. Did you hit him then?
Did not. I won't wed her, says I. When all I know, she did suckle me for 6 weeks when I was brought into this world, and she, hag this day with a tongue on her that would scare the crows and seabirds the way they would be flying over her farm for fear of her curse.
Well, that one should be right company.
Don't mind her. Did you kill him then?
I did not. Go on, says he, or I'll flatten you out like a crawling beast that's passed under a train. You will not if I can help it, says I. Go on, says he, or I'll have the devil making garters of your limbs tonight. You will not if I can help it, says I. And with that, the sun came out up between the cloud and the hill, and it shining green in my face. God have mercy on your soul, says he, or on your own, says I, raids and the loy. He gave a drive with the scythe. I gave a look to the east. Then I turned around with my back to the north and let a blow on the ridge of his skull that laid him stretched out to the knob of his gullet.
Oh, that's a grand story. He tells it so lovely. Well, I'm thinking the Lord God sent him.
You must have vexed him fearful to make him strike that gash in his dog.
Is it me?
Aye. And isn't it a great shame when the old and hardened do torment the young?
Torment him, is it? And I holding out with the patience of a martyred saint, till there's nothing but destruction left in me, and I'm driven out in my old age with none to aid me.
It's a sacred wonder the way wickedness will spoil a man.
My wickedness, is it? Haven't I'm just saying it's himself has me destroyed. And he a liar, a tucker of folly, the kind of man you'd see half the day in the brown ferns with his belly to the sun.
Not working at all?
The devil to work! And when he was at itself, he'd be raising up a haystack like the stalk of a rush. Or he'd be driving our last cow till her leg was broken at the hip. And when he wasn't at that, he'd be fooling around with little birds he had, finches and felts, or making mugs out of a little bit of glass we had hung on the wall.
What way was he so foolish? He was running wild after the girls, maybe.
Running wild, is it? If he had seen a red petticoat come swinging over the hill, he'd be off to hide in the sticks, shooting out his sheep eyes between little twigs and leaves, and his ears raising up like a hair through little gaps. Girls, indeed.
It must have been drink then.
And he, a poor fellow, would get drunk on the smell of a pint. That lad had a queer, rotten stomach, I'm telling you. I gave him a few pulls of my pipe a while since, and he was taken with contortions.
Now she'll be turning on me, speaking hard words, like an old woman with a spab in the ass she'd have urging me on a hill.
There's poetry talk for a girl you'd see itching and scratching, and her with a stale stink of poachine on her from selling in the shop.
It's her like it's fitted to be handling merchandise in the heavens above. What'll I do now, I ask you? And I kind of wonder, was jilted by the heavens when a day was by.
You'll be doing like myself, I'm thinking, when I did destroy my man. From above many's the day. Odd times and great spirits. Abroad in the sunshine, darning a stocking or stitching a shift. Odd times again, looking out on the schooners, hookers, trawlers is traveling the sea. I'm thinking on the gallant hairy fellows are drifting beyond. Myself, long years living alone.
We were like so.
I am your like. As for that, I'm taking a fancy to you. And I with my little house scene where there'd be myself to tend you. None to ask were you a murderer or what at all.
What'll I be doing if I left Pegeen?
I've got nice jobs you could be doing. Gathering shells to make a whitewash for our hut within. Putting up a new goose house. Stretching a new skin on an old corral I have. And if my house is far from all sides, there you'll meet the wisest old men, I tell you. As there yourself and me will have great times. Whispering, hugging.
Is it Pegeen, Mike?
It's the young girls, I'm thinking, coming to bring you to the sports below. What is it you'll have me to tell them now?
Aid me for to win Pegeen. It's yourself only that I'm seeking now. Aid me for to win her. And I'll be asking God to stretch a hand to you in the hour of need and lead you through shortcuts up the meadows of ease to the footstool of a virgin son.
There's praying.
Oh, they're coming. Will you swear to aid and save me for the love of Christ?
If I aid you, will you give me a right of way I want? And a mountain ram? And a load of dung at Michaelmas?
I will surely, by the elements of stars at night.
Then will not say a word to the old man. The way Pegeen won't know your story till the end of time.
And if he chances to return again,
We'll swear he's a maniac and not your da. Take an oath I seen him raving on the sands today.
Christy, Mom, Christy!
Well done with the races, Christy.
Here's a surprise.
A black horn thorn that would surely whip the scholars of Dublin City.
A fiddle and bagpipes.
thank you kindly. But it's little you say surely of my deeds today if you'd seen me a while since, striking my one single blow. And it's little you'll care if mine house poachers or an earl's itself, when you feel my two hands stretched around you, and me squeezing kisses onto your puckered lips till I feel a kind of pity for the Lord God himself, sitting lonesome in his chair.
Oh, well, that'll be right fun, Christy Mahon. And any girl would walk her heart out before she'd meet a man was your like for eloquence or talk at all.
Let you just wait to hear me talking. Wait till we're away in Eris, when Good Friday's past, drinking a sup from a well, and making mighty kisses with our wetted mouths.
I'd be nice, so is it.
Oh, if the Mitred bishops heard you that time, well, they'd be the like of the holy prophets, I'm thinking, that you be straying in old times to lay eyes on the Lady Helen of Troy, and she, walking backward and forward with a nosegay in her golden shawl.
And what is it I have, Christy Mahon, to make me fit an entertainment for the like of you, that has such poets talking and such bravery of heart?
Isn't it the light of 7 heavens in your heart alone? Will you be a kind of angel's lamp to me from this out? And I abroad in the darkness, poaching salmon in the oar of the Kelmore.
Well, if I was your wife, well, I'd go along with you those nights, Christy. That way you'd see I was a good hand at coaxing bailiffs and coining funny nicknames for the stars of night.
Well, that's your like, is it? Taking your death in the hailstones or the fogs of dawn.
Oh, you and me would shelter easy in a narrow bush. It's only talking we are. This would be a poor, thatched place to house a fine lad for the like of you.
Oh, no. If I wasn't a good Christian, I'd be on my naked knees and be saying my prayers and paters to every jackstraw making your roof and every pebble that's paving the laneway to your door.
If that's the case, I light candles to the miracles of God that have brought you from the south today. And die with my gown spot and ready. That way I can wed you and not wait at all.
It's miracles, and that's the truth. For me, after walking a long while and toiling a long while, not knowing I was growing ever nearer to this holy day.
Myself, a girl, was tempted often to go sailing the high seas till I'd marry a Jew man with 10 kegs of gold, not knowing it all. But the like of you were drawing near, like the stars of God.
To think that this is the first time that I'm hearing your own words talking sweetly to my delight.
Oh, to think it's me talking sweetly, Christy, and I the fright of 7 townlands for my biting tongue. Well, the heart's a wonder, I'm thinking, for there won't be our kind of gallus lovers in Mayo today. Because my father from the wake will tell him when he's had a sleep where he's peaceful then.
The blessing of God on your head, young fellow. I hear tell you're after winning all of the sports below. Isn't it a shame we didn't bear you along with us to Kate Cassidy's wake, a fine stout lad the like of yourself? For you'd never see the like of it for flows of drink. Aye, when we sunk her in her grave at noonday, there were 6 men stretched out retching speechless on the holy stones.
It's well enough you're lying.
I am not, then. Isn't it a shame you went bearing your poor father unbeknownst when you had a right to lay him on the crupper of a carry mule and drive him westward like holy Joseph in the days gone by, and you not even having a Christian drink a smart drop to the glory of his soul?
You're not speaking the truth.
Well, aren't you a hardened slayer? It'll be a poor thing for the household where you go sniffing for a female wife. But look beyond that shy, decent young Christian man I have chosen for my daughter's hand, and I after wedding them this day.
You'll be wedding them this day, is it?
Aye, are you thinking if I was drunk itself, I'd live leaving lonesome with a frisky rascal the like of yourself?
Is it true that dispensations come?
Aye, Father Riley's after reading it in Gallus Latin, for it's come in the nick of time, says he, so I'll wed them in a hurry, dreading that young gaffer who'd capsize the stars.
Well, he's missed his nick of time, surely, for it's that lad Christy Mahon that I'm wedding now.
You'd be making him a son to me. And he wet and crusted with his father's blood?
I? You think I'd go marrying the like of Shawn? He a middling kind of scarecrow with no fine words or savagery in him at all.
Well, aren't you a heathen daughter to go shaking the bat of my heart? I swamped and drowned it with the weight of drink. Would you have to turn upon me the way that I'd be roaring to the dawn of day? Have you no words to aid me, Shawn? Are you not jealous at all?
I'd be afraid to be jealous of a man that slay his father.
Isn't it a good thing I didn't wed you before himself came walking from the west or south?
It's a queer story you'd have, picking up a dirty tramp from the highways of the world.
Oh, you think you're such a likely beau to go straying along the shiny Sundays of the opening year, when it's sooner you put a girl on a bullock's liver, I'm thinking, than on the lily or the rose.
Don't you know my way to passion, and my golden ring, and the holy dispensation, and my drift of heifer?
Yes, I think you're too fine for the like of me, Shawn. So let you find a radiant lady with droves of bullocks on the plains of Meath, or I think that would be your match. So God save you now.
Won't you hear me tell
Put on from this, or I'll maybe add a murder to my deeds.
Murder, is it? Did you go making murder in this place and it piled high with poteen for our drink tonight? Take yourself to the foreshore if it's fighting you want. Well, tide will wash away all trace from memory of man.
His father, God forgive me!
Is it roused from the dead?
Do I look so easily quenched with the top of a loin?
No!
It's lies, you told! Let me on your head and split it and you nothing at all!
Oh, he's not my father! He's a raving lunatic! Herself knows it's true!
Liar!
You're fooling, Pegeen. The widow Quin seen in this day, and you likely knew.
Oh, it's himself was a liar! Was lying out with an open head on him, letting on to be dead!
Weren't you off racing with a start before I could catch my breath and seeing you turn on me at all?
Think of the coaxing glory we'd given him, and he doing nothing but hitting a soft blow and running northward in a sweat of fear.
Oh, we had not saved me from this old man! For why would you be in such haste to spurn me to destruction now?
Well, it's there your treachery is spurning me. So
till I'm hard set to think that you're the one I'm after lacing in my heartstrings for half an hour gone by. Take him on from this, for I think bad the world should see me raging for a monster liar and the fool of men.
Rise up to your retribution now and come on with me.
Well, there's the Playboy.
What is it that drives you to torment me now? When I'd ask the thunders of the mighty God to blast me if I ever did harm to any of you.
If you did, you're good for nothing. Isn't it by the likes of you the sins of the whole world are committed?
Oh, for the love of Almighty God!
Be troubling the Lord God! You wouldn't have him bringing down the droughts and the fever and the old hen and the cholera morbus.
Oh, would you come between us and protect me now?
Try to lot, God help me, and my share is done.
I'm to go off into my torment, is it? Or run out like a vagabond straight through the unions? I'd have the dust of August making mud stains in my gullet within, or the winds of March blowing on me till I take an oath that I feel making whistles in my ribs within.
Ask Pegeen to aid. Her light does often change.
Well, not, for there's torment in the splendor of her like. And she, a girl any moon of midnight would take.
Look at the way he is. Twist the hangman's knot and slip it around his neck while he's not minding at all.
You take it, Shanine. You're the soberest of us all here.
Is it we you have taken?
Aye.
And he the wicked is still the worst with me.
Aye.
Let you take it, Pegeen, Marta.
So,
What ails you? Come on to the paling flame, strike you now!
Is it me?
We took pity on you this day. The Lord God would maybe bring us ruin from the law. So come easy for hanging you the quick and easy edge.
And wasn't, I'll not stir! I'll not stir! And wasn't you'll say to me this time, and I, do it in the face of all!
well, I'll say a man's a wonder with his mighty talk. But what's a squabble in your backyard and the blow the law have taught me is that there's a great gap between a gallous story and a dirty deed. Take him on from this! The lot of us will surely be put to trial today!
Oh, and it's yourself who would be sending me off to the horny-fingered hangman to be hitting slip knots around the butt of my ear? Come on, will you? Oh, cut the rope again, Mike, and I'll quit off from this and live out like the man and a keel, eating muck in the cliffs some more.
And leave us to hang for it? A saucy liar the like of you? Take him on out from this!
Come on. Ah, my leg is bent over the like of a mad dog. Pull twist on his neck and squeeze himself.
Like the sauce, Pegeen.
Oh, you'll die, surely. It's the way you can hang out those flags of welcome for my coming in 2 weeks or 3. Oh, for unthinking Satan hasn't much welcome for those who killed their father and Carrie and Mayo too.
Oh, isn't it a holy terror? And isn't it true how all drinks are cursed? That you're all so shaky and uncertain now.
Who brings us up, Pegeen?
Oh, you're blowing for the torch of me. That's your life, is it? Oh, well, if I had to face the gallows out of the game march down, I'm saying, and shed the blood of some of you before I die. Ah! God, be to God! No!
I thought you said he was dead.
You're coming to be killed the 3rd time? What ails you now?
So what is it to have you tied?
You're gonna have me hanged for slaying you!
It's the will of God that all should protect their cabins. What would my daughter be doing if I was hanged itself?
It's little I care if you give her a bag and have her picking cockles to the hour of death. But my son and myself, we'll be going our own way from this out, and we'll have great times telling of the villainy of Mayo. And the fools is here. Come on now.
I'm going with you, is it? Aye. Well, I will then. Like a gallant captain, and his
heathen slave. For I'm the master of all fights from this out. The way you'll be peeling my potatoes and stewing my oatmeal from now on.
Is it me?
Oh, God forbid! Not another word out of you.
Peace for our drinks this day. Draw the porter, will you, Pegeen?
Isn't it a miracle that Father Riley can wed us in the end of all? And once his vicious bite is healed, we'll have none to trouble us now.
But my sight. I've lost him. I've lost him surely. I've lost the last Playboy of the Western world.
You're after making a mighty man of me by the power of an eye. But I'm thinking if it's a poor thing to go lonesome in the world, but it's a worse thing to go mixing with the fools of the earth. Keep off! Lest I do show below unto you that the guardian angels wincing in the heavens above.
Mind yourself, the idiot.
Oh, if I am an idiot, then I'm after hearing my own words would praise the top knot on the poet's brow in a merchant's town. Now I wonder racing, and I wonder
Shut your going and come on with me!
Oh, I'm going. But I'll stretch you first.
Take that, boy! You running away like a fool! Got it!
What good my lifetime be if I left Pegeen?
Oh, is it that the match of her and every parish public from being stopped to the place of beef? Come on, Evelyn, you find her sweethearts in each way you move.
What did I care? You've got here just a chosen females, and the ship itself is from this place of the eastern world.
They're going to hang him. Seize upon him and let him run off to the east.
Brave them now. But the land will take to the ferry to the Yankel boat.
Go on with this. I see. You're jealous, isn't it? You're jealous of her and letting me. Well, go on from this.
It's the madhouse that should be putting him in, not jail at all. Go by the back door and call the doctor and save himself.
Is the old man killed Shirley?
You must have filled the last gasps of his face and heart.
Look at the way he is.
You're the soberest of us all here.
With me, you have tickets. And he's the wickedest and the worst with me. But you take it, Pegeen, Mike.